Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another episode of iStarly TV. This is yet another news installment because some leaked information has come out again regarding Pokemon X and Y, specifically regarding the two other event legendaries named Hoopa and Volcanion, which are, along with Diancie, who was revealed last month officially, are the other two Pokemon that are obtainable only through events in X and Y. These Pokemon were discovered around the same time as Diancie, quite a while ago, maybe a few months back, and they were discovered as part of the coding of the game. You'll see these two Pokemon listed on the screen. Now, Hoopa is the one that looks like a little kind of ghost, and it's a ghost and psychic type, I believe. Its ability has been revealed to be Magician, which is the ability that Delphox has right now. Really interesting ability. Basically what it does is when you damage the opponent, you steal their item. So it's kind of like a built-in thief. And Hoopa's stats have been confirmed as, I'll put them on the screen, but they are 80 HP, 110 attack, 60 defense, 150 special attack, 130 special defense, and 70 speed. So Hoopa looks like a really interesting Pokemon with just its stats are kind of all over the place. First of all, you'll notice that its highest stat is its special attack, and it also has very high special defense and pretty decent HP, meaning that it'll be a decent special tank, but it also has a very high attack stat, which means that it can possibly be some kind of a mixed tank. However, unfortunately, it does have a pretty low defense stat, and given that it is a ghost and psychic type, that means it is 4 times weak to dark type moves, which are relatively common and relatively physically based. It's also 4 times weak to ghost type moves, which is kind of strange, but also very interesting. So its typing is not, and then it's being a ghost type, that ghost is one of the best offensive types right now. And so offensively it's not very bad, however defensively it's not very good. So that's a really interesting Pokemon. Very, very unique, something that we've never really seen before, and I like that. I like how we're seeing Pokemon that aren't kind of knockoffs of another one, that aren't strictly better than any Pokemon in existence. They're just, they're just generally different. Volcanion, on the other hand, is, if Hoopa was interesting, Volcanion's a little more interesting. It's the first ever water and fire type, which I have some issues with. It doesn't really look like a water and fire type, and water and fire is such a unique type combination that I feel like that build-up is kind of wasted on Volcanion. They could have had a much cooler water and fire type as the debut water and fire type, but you take what you can get, I guess. Its ability is Water Absorb, which is interesting because as a water and fire type, that means it takes neutral damage from water, and so the ability Water Absorb is actually reasonable. It gives it an immunity. Water is a very common, very powerful type, and in Ubers, Kyogre is one of the most powerful Pokemon, one of the most commonly used Pokemon, and in OU, you have some pretty good water types in the tier. So stat-wise, can Volcanion hold its own in the tier? Well, Volcanion's stats are also really kind of scattered. It has 80 HP, 110 attack, 120 defense, 130 special attack, 90 special defense, and 70 speed, meaning again, like Hoopa, it's pretty slow. It's more of a tank. This one is a little more balanced though. It doesn't lean completely more towards, it has a really good defense stat, but its special defense is not very bad. However, of course, being a fire type, that means it's weak to Stealth Rock. So despite the fact that this is an event legendary, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a really, really amazing Pokemon. You know, we have examples like Meloetta, who never really saw OU play. Doesn't mean she's a bad Pokemon, but she's definitely not an amazing Pokemon compared to things like, I don't know, Keldeo and Genesect and those other extremely powerful legendaries. So keep in mind, this is not 100% confirmed. I'm taking this information very lightly. I got this information off of PokeBeach, which is a reasonably reliable source. Before X and Y came out all those months ago in October, before October, they were revealing some information that they had got from an anonymous source, and that information actually all turned out to be true about X and Y. So, you know, but again, take this lightly. If you're not happy with this, there's still some chance that this could be wrong, but you know, like I said, PokeBeach has been reliable in the past, so I'm gonna go ahead and trust this, and this is information that I'm interested in. I don't have any problems with Hoopa or Volcanion. I mean, they're really kind of strange, but I kind of like that, you know. So let me know what you think about Hoopa and Volcanion. Do you think that they will be top tier contenders in competitive battling? Do you think their designs are cool at all? Do you think their designs are bad? What do you think of their typings, of their abilities, and even of their stats? Now, the second ounce of information that was leaked, supposedly, is that 3 new moves were discovered. Really interesting. I wonder, because I know a lot of hackers had kind of somehow hacked into X and Y when X and Y was first revealed, and that's how they found out about Diancie and things like that. But how is it that they did not find out about these moves now? Sorry, how is it that they did not find out about these moves back then, but they're finding out about them just now? It's really peculiar, but anyways, the first move is called Hold Hands, which I'm guessing is a Japanese indirect translation. And it says the user and ally hold hands. This makes them very happy. That's literally the description it has. It's a normal type move, and its power is 40, which is a really weak move. It's a special attack as well, so this probably could be an event move, meaning it's something like Topsy-Turvy, or you know, moves that are only given away with event Pokemon, and they're usually not really good. It's just a really strange sounding move. But like I said, this may be an indirect Japanese translation, so maybe when this move ever hits America, or any English-speaking countries, it'll be translated to something that makes more sense, or sounds a little less, I don't know, cute. The next one sounds really cool, and it's a ground-type move. It's called 1,000 Arrows, and it's a 90 base power move. It's a physical attack, and it says, this move also hits opposing Pokemon that are in the air. Those Pokemon are knocked down to the ground. So it's a ground-type move that also hits flying and levitators. Flying types and levitators, which is really very interesting. A lot of Pokemon that have Levitate are actually weak to ground-type moves, such as Gengar, Weezing, Rotom, so it would be really interesting to see this move implemented into the game. It would be interesting to see what Pokemon can get this move, and yeah, it looks like a very good move just because you can use it without any fear of them switching in something that's immune to ground-type moves, so very, very playable move. And then the second, or the last move, is called 1,000 Waves, and this is also 90 base power, and it's another physical move. So in terms of power, it's identical to 1,000 Arrows, and it says the user attacks with a wave that crawls along the ground. Those hit can't flee from battle. So basically it's like a mean look with a 90 base power ground type move attached to it. So that's also very interesting because usually most trapping moves like Mean Look, Infestation, Wrap, they are usually very, very weak. So, or they don't do any damage at all, like Mean Look. So this is a very powerful move that can lock your opponent into the battlefield and make them unable to flee. So I don't know where the uses of these moves will be. The person who revealed this information is speculating that these two ground type moves might have something to do with a Zygarde, so maybe there will be some kind of Zygarde event where he gets these two moves. It makes sense since he is a ground type, and these do seem like very exclusive moves because of the fact that they were not implemented into the main game, so that's very possible. It's also worth noting that this information was revealed in light of Diancie's reveal, which was not that long ago. We still, and we're starting to get information now about when the Diancie movie will come out and how you can get your event Diancie. I think right now it's looking like only in Japan you'll be able to get Diancie, but I think a US or North America, European, etc. event will probably come to us soon, hopefully. So yeah, anyways, that's my bit of news for right now. Let me know what you thought about this information, and we'll talk to you soon. Yeah, thanks. And subscribe for more Pokemon news, Pokemon battles, and just overall great Pokemon content. Thank you.